This is the story of a WWE champion who has been publicly calling out two of the biggest names in hip-hop for nearly 3 years, and why the match she keeps pitching might actually be closer to reality than most people realize. Raquel Rodriguez wants Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion in a WWE ring, with her and Liv Morgan waiting on the other side, and she has been saying so consistently since 2023. Start with who Rodriguez actually is, because her record is what gives this challenge its weight. A current WWE superstar and member of the Judgment Day faction, Rodriguez has built one of the most decorated tag team resumes in the history of WWE's women's division. 4 times she and Liv Morgan have won the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships together, a number no other team in that division has ever matched, and Rodriguez does not let anyone forget it. Her exact words when asked about it, "Oh my gosh, tag team to win 4 times? By the way, the greatest of all time. That's why, because we're the only tag team to win 4 times. We're in the history books." That confidence is not manufactured for a soundbite. Tag gold in NXT followed as well, with partners including Aaliyah and Roxanne Perez, which means the championship history runs deeper than just her work with Morgan on the main roster. Put it all together and you have one of the most accomplished women's tag team careers WWE has ever produced. And that history is exactly why her challenge carries more than just headline value. When Raquel Rodriguez calls someone out, she is calling them out from a position of real credibility. On February 19, 2026, Rodriguez sat down with TMZ Sports' Inside the Ring podcast and put the challenge on record again, this time with a level of specificity that made it impossible to treat as casual conversation. The pitch was a celebrity tag team match, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion on one side, Rodriguez and Liv Morgan on the other, and Rodriguez laid it out plainly. "Liv and I always talked about tagging against Cardi and Megan Thee Stallion. I'm going to keep putting it out there, because I think Liv and I versus them would just be so iconic for our careers, for their careers, just because we're the greatest tag team of all time, and they're just great at what they do as well." But Rodriguez did not stop at issuing a challenge, and this is the part that separates this interview from a standard celebrity call-out. She started building the match out loud, thinking through what Cardi's in-ring style might actually look like, which is not something you do unless you have been genuinely turning this idea over in your head for a long time. Her words on Cardi. Cardi could do a lot, she's got a lot of body. She's got a lot to work with. I think like a lot of her signature moves could be stuff with her butt for sure, squishing us in the corner like a stink face. We will keep throwing it out there. On Megan Thee Stallion, the assessment was equally direct and equally rooted in how Rodriguez thinks about wrestling. Meg Thee Stallion, being the big girl that she is too, I feel like she could give a good slap. Those are not throwaway lines written for a quick laugh. Rodriguez is thinking in genuine wrestling terms, mapping out signature spots, using physical attributes as a framework for in-ring character, and building crowd moments around what each person naturally brings. A stinkface spot from Cardi B in a WWE ring would stop the show, and Rodriguez knows exactly that. This is a pitch being delivered in real time, dressed up as casual conversation. And here is what reframes the entire story. February 2026 was not the first time Rodriguez made this challenge. Go back to May 2023, when Rodriguez and Morgan were sitting on the tag titles, and both women were already calling out Cardi and Megan in a separate TMZ Sports interview. Morgan's version was 3 words, "We want them." Rodriguez backed it up by pointing to both rappers actively engaging with WWE superstars on social media as a clear signal they would be more than willing to get involved. Nearly 3 years passed between that May 2023 interview and the February 2026 podcast appearance, and Rodriguez kept this idea alive the entire time. That kind of consistency is not something you maintain for a story that was never real. 3 years of public callouts, timed now with WrestleMania approaching in the background, tells you everything about how seriously Rodriguez takes this match as a goal rather than just a talking point. She has been planting the same seed in the same soil since she and Morgan first won those titles, and she is still watering it. The reason Cardi B is a genuinely realistic target, rather than just a famous name being thrown out for attention, comes down to a relationship with WWE that stretches back years before any of this. Her list of all-time favorites, shared publicly on social media, that fandom turned into something far more concrete in 2025, when Cardi hosted WWE SummerSlam, one of the company's biggest premium live events of the entire year. Hosting SummerSlam is not a background role. That is a high-visibility position that puts a celebrity at the center of a major WWE production, in front of a live audience and a global viewership. And at that show, WWE superstar Chelsea Green issued Cardi a public warning, a moment that placed Cardi inside WWE's actual storytelling structure rather than just alongside it. Nothing physical happened, but the line between Cardi B as a celebrity guest and Cardi B as a potential on-screen character started to blur in a way it had not before. Megan's connection to WWE is less extensive, but still worth noting. She has been photographed alongside Bianca Belair during her run as Raw Women's Champion, and that kind of association inside the WWE world is often exactly where celebrity involvement begins to take its first real shape. Rodriguez also pointed to 2 names as proof that this entire model works: Logan Paul and Bad Bunny. Both came in as celebrities, both committed to the product with real preparation, and both created moments that traveled far beyond the wrestling audience into mainstream culture. Bad Bunny competed at WrestleMania and delivered a performance that surprised even longtime fans.
Logan Paul built enough of a track record that he became a full-time WWE superstar. Rodriguez's argument is that Cardi and Megan could do for the women's tag division what those two did for the broader product. And given everything Cardi has already built with WWE over the past few years, that argument deserves to be taken seriously rather than dismissed as wishful thinking.